Hey everybody, it's Colette Baron-Reid. Welcome to the Universal Energy Forecast for April 2025. We're going to use my deck, Wisdom of the Hidden Guides of the Hidden Realms. We're using a different deck. We're using Guides of the Hidden Realms, the one that I painted. It's been chattering away. I'm living in Portugal right now. And amazing place. It's so mystical, and boy, oh boy, I feel like I plug into this otherworldly energy here that's pretty wild and very chatty. So why would I not use the guides that I channeled for that deck? Okay, so we're looking at energy impacting everybody and ways in which we could use this energy, right? Because this is predictive and prescriptive. So big paradigm shift this April. Energy shifts dramatically. We're ready. So we have 3 cards. This one was the first one, is gratitude is dreaming. And it reminds us how we speak. So the law of praise is a big one here. Oh, sorry. Law of praise. What does that say? Every word has power. The law of praise says when we praise in advance that we cannot see yet, it is more likely to come to us because we have called it out. We've called it in. Sorry, not call it out. That's a whole other ball of wax. So calling it in, calling the manifestation of that in. Look, it's like positive psychology, which, does not focus on pathology. It focuses on what's good about this. What's the best, what's the strengths that are coming from this, etc. So it's the same sort of thing. It's like looking at what is strong, put into focus on what is good, and doesn't say to put your head in the sand, but it just says if you want to see more of one thing, focus more about that and on that, as opposed to the other. And everybody knows right now, I mean, my goodness, there's everything that we see going on in the world, there's way more happening behind it. So you have to trust that. You've got to really start trusting your own intuition. When you are in fight, flight, freeze, fawn, attach, when you're in a stress response, you tune in more to your instinct for survival, which then turns out your intuition. So there's a difference between the two. One looks for constant threats. The other one trusts in advance that there is a divine purpose and I'm going to follow that. So that's what it's saying. Be mindful of your stress levels. Do whatever it takes that works for you, to detach and stay on track. Now, everybody's ready for this, right? Juicy and ready. And we're ready now. We're not ready tomorrow. We're ready now. We're ready for a change, and we're ready for a way out of the weeds. That's the other one. So this card here is all about coming out of the weeds and seeing a clear path forward when we felt very stuck. So the call is to get organized, watch your words, see where you focus your energy, and you can get excited because new things are starting to happen. And it does feel like in the beginning a little bit of like I feel like I got stuck in a hive of wasps, right? Like it felt like, oh, I want to get out. And now all of a sudden you get out. It's like, okay, well, it's spring, right? But it does say, okay, I can now take action on some of all that stuff that I had to look at during the eclipse season, which some of it was painful and scary, right? So we want to say, okay, well, what do we really want? What do we really, really want? And step towards that. And not every single moment of the day either. This is not a crazy amount of productivity. It's work until when I say work towards your goals, share your experience, your strength, your hope with others. But don't do it to the point where you deplete yourself and you become an empty well. That's part of how you got in the weeds. And also know that this too shall pass, right? This too shall pass. Whatever we see in front of us right now will not be the same thing this time next year. Things are happening so quickly and so radically. The radical changes are ginormous. So we need to think globally, but bring our lives very local, and micro, right? Micro. Okay, so let's see where we're heading. Generally speaking, connection to the cosmos. I love this. The law of reciprocity, community. Everything is connected. Trust that, again, when we talked about listening and where you put your focus, this is saying that no matter what, everything is connected. We're starting to see through the laws of synchronicity, things happening in our lives when we surrender, when we're at that stage of, when I say surrender, it's not give up. It's about tuning into the divine, whatever that means to you, trusting that there is a higher purpose to everything that's going on in the world, listening to the ancestors. This was actually in the upside down position, which is starting new traditions, the need to move out of what negatively impacted us from the past and stepping into something that's brand new. One of the things I get really excited about, especially also because, I'm in my late 60s now, and I'm in that crone mentor type mindset where, I really believe that the younger ones, the younger generations, are being given a great gift right now to find their way of dealing with things, right? And find a new way. And we have to trust that that new way is going to be revealed, and it won't be the same as before, right? If we do what we did, we're going to get what we got. That's what this is saying too, right? Sometimes we can learn some beautiful lessons and have great traditions if they work. The universal ones will typically work, but the ones that are, how we've dealt with circumstances or chaos or stuff, we need new ways, and the new ways are here now. So they're coming in, and we're going to start to see some solutions that we didn't have before. Metamorphosis, we are still in that weird place between the fuzzy caterpillar and the fabulous butterfly that can fly around, and it doesn't know it can fly. I mean, it kind of is dreaming it can fly. Now it's having the nightmare and it's feeling sick, and it's in the cocoon, and now it's claustrophobic. It doesn't know how to get out. And of course, as we know, you cannot help a butterfly out of its cocoon. It actually can only fly if it pushes its way out of it. So we're kind of in the let me the F out of here stage. But we will get to the other side. That's the promise. That's the promise of our times, right? Okay, so let's look at the obstacles. This will tell us the nature of the obstacles or the energy of how to work with those obstacles. Let's see. Yeah, the burden of choice. Epiphany, sing at dawn, and the dream of co-creation. Okay, so the burden of choice is you have to make a choice. Now, it's kind of interesting that we have the dark and we have the light, but both fulfill the whole, right? Not one doesn't exist without the other. So this is really looking at the consequences of our choices, also about how to choose higher ground, and be conscious of our choices, right? Because to recognize too that if we stay conscious, sometimes the choice is only a micro choice that we make. We're only capable of that. And remembering, that serenity prayer, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, but the wisdom to know the difference. Bingo, here comes an epiphany. So epiphanies, sing at dawn. I love my little birds. I have to show you my birds. See my little birds? I love my birds. I've never made little birds before, but anyway, so this is awakening, new directions, potential, and seeing that options start to show up in April. Oh, isn't that interesting? So we all start to awaken at a much bigger level. There's some, I will say that dawn is right. It's like we've coming out of the night. We're coming out of the darkness of that. I can't see. It's like illuminated by the shadows of things, which is a lot from what happened in the eclipse. And then bingo, here we are. Where is this new potential? It's right there. And the dream of co-creation means not just us alone. You see the Oribus, it eats itself, right? The tail. So it's evolution. This is talking about the evolutionary truth that all of us are going through right now, and reminding ourselves that this is probably one of the most profound times to manifest. Now, I get it. People roll their eyes sometimes like, well, what is this? How do you talk about manifestation when it looks like the whole world's falling apart? When it's not. It's what's happening is that the ground that we've fallen asleep to is now becoming like we've taken a big giant hoe to it, or what do you call those jabber machines? I can't remember now, but anyway, jackhammers. And now the ground has been broken up, and now we can actually plant something in it, because it was too hard to plant anything new before. It was hard. So as things fall apart, new things grow and new things are built. So we have to keep our mind on what is the new thing that's going to be built, or that we would like to see being built, and trust that we don't know all the answers to any of this, but we still have to show up for it, right? So this is great. So in terms of this, it just tells us the nature of the obstacle is the burden that we have to make a choice. And also also the fear that our choice won't be matter, when in fact, right now we're just seeing extremes. All extremes have to come back to the center. At some point, we are going to be at a place where we all actually literally have to get along in some capacity. And yes, that's usually preceded by something quite frightening. And can this happen? Absolutely. But that's not the point of this. The point of this is what happens through and after, and what our choices are now, because they'll have consequences later. So being really super mindful of where you place your attention right now. Again, I say more and more, be very careful what you consume on social media, on the internet, etc., because there's if you look at a number of things, you'll see one completely, it's all propaganda. That's what I think. Anyway, you got to trust what's in your heart. Really, really trust in here. People say a lot of things. Bingo. Okay, this is cool. All right, so what is Spirit helping us with, right? Behind the scenes, what's going on, right? Like, we know there's a lot going on behind the scenes. We get it. Death reclaims a life. So this is one of my favorite cards. I'm never going to sell this painting. This is all about the spirit of death, but death that is giving life back to us. So what needs to die is being brought into that swirl of energy so that it can be reborn. It's got no life. There's no nourishment there anymore. That's our job, right? So Spirit's going to help us with that, or the universe, or whatever. This is what's going on for our benefit right now, is pruning the trees. It's sloughing the dead skin off, like recognizing the structures that need to be rebuilt and reinforced, right? Then here, another one is order in the forest. There is divine order in many, many ways. So this is about clearing your resentments, bringing yourself back into order, spring cleaning. This is a decluttering for this April too. But remember, this is what does Spirit help us with? That's not what are we supposed to do. This is what's going on for us. So that's why it's really important to wear the world so loosely right now and let go our attachments to the way we think things should be, because they may actually, the detours that we may see right now may be leading us to someplace we always wanted but didn't know the form. We thought it was one form, but it actually is going to come to us in a different form. It's really trusting that and waking up every day and saying, how can I contribute to the beauty of the world? And do that for you. Open-mindedness and perspective, nuance and complexity. I think Spirit's going to remind us of that. This and that is true. So this is a reminder that chaos can exist with creativity, right? And so destruction can coexist, and at the same time as redemption and as resurrection. And like there's so many, not even opposites, but two things can be going on at the same time. You can be scared and hopeful at the same time, right? So it's kind of bringing Spirits, or the universe is helping us have a greater container for resilience and to be able to hold more than one thing at the same time. One of the things I really think we have lost is the nuance and complexity of communication. That we've kind of lost that capacity, but this is saying it's coming back to us, which is great. Okay, let's take a look now at what is the next right action. What do we actually do? Well, that's so very interesting. So I took all the cards and put it back in. All the blessings everywhere. Count your blessings. So this is the action plan. All the blessings everywhere. They are there. We can find them. No matter where we look, we can find a blessing. Even in someone's smile or somebody being kind. Kindness is contagious. This is the other thing. What's the action plan? Kindness is contagious. You be the blessing for someone else. It's maybe only one person. Be kind, be kind. Stay connected to your community. Don't isolate. This is, again, the connection to the cosmos. And this is the other thing, don't jump before you know. Get your information before you speak about it. So this was upside down. The ready card was upside down here. So sometimes it's saying, like, know when you don't know. It's okay not to know. Right? It's, you could say, I don't know. I'm going to do more research on something. I'm going to understand this a little bit better before I just believe that thing that I was told. It's important. You got, honestly, critical thinking is essential right now. And it's a little rare, unfortunately, but that is something to aspire to. Anyway, big month for everybody. Again, finding our way through the chaos and finding our way to that. The form is not going to be our business. The form is going to be shown to us. And sometimes there are detours to get to where we believe we want to be, but it's who we become along the way that's way more important than getting to the goal. Who are you? Who do you want to become? Do you want to be bitter? Do you want to be that person? Do you want to be open-minded? Do you want to listen? Do you want to be strong about your convictions? Like, there's all kinds of things that are coming up for people right now. And to be very mindful on one day to the next. Where is your energy going? And don't be an empty well. That's really important right now. Self-care, self-care, self-care. Love you guys. See you next month. Check out the Astro Oracle reading with me and Debbie Frank. It'll really match up nicely with this one. Take care. Bye. Great one for everyone.